A man spends 60% of his salary. If his salary is increased by 30%, then his expenditure also increased by 20%. Find the percentage change in his savings. So a man spends 60% of his salary. So first we will consider his salary to be 100x. So he spends 60%, that is equal to 60x of his salary. So if he spends 60x, he will save 40x. That will together make 100%. But now his salary is increased by 30%. His total salary is increased by 30%. So now his new salary will be 130x. And then his expenditure also increases by 20%. So previously his expenditure was 60x. Now his expenditure is increased by 20%. So we will multiply 60x by 120 by 100. That will give us 72x. So now his expenditure, he spends 72x and he saves rest the amount, that is he saves 58x. Now the question says find the percentage change in his savings. So he previously used to save 40x, now he saves 58x. So there is increase of 18x. So there is increase of 18x, so we'll divide 18x by his salary his savings has increased from 40x, so we'll divide by 40x into 100. 2 into 2 4, 2 into 5 10, 2 into 9 18, 9 into 5 9 5 45. So his total percentage change is 45%. Rahul spends 30% of his salary on rent. So we'll take the salary of Rahul to be 100x. Therefore, he spends 30% of his salary on rent. Therefore, 30% is 30x. 20% of his salary on food. He spends some 20% on food, that is 20x. And 10% of his salary on clothes. On clothes, he spends 10x and saves rest the amount. So we have to find his savings. So total we have 100%, on which he spends 30, 20 and 10. That will together make 30 plus 20, 50 plus 10, 60. So his savings will be 40x. If his salary was 5,000, then find the amount he saves. So we are given with his total salary, that is it was 5,000. If 100x is equal to 5,000, we have taken his total salary to be 100x, therefore we will equate this to 100x is equal to 5,000, therefore x is equal to 50. Now we are required to find his savings. So his savings is 40x. 40 into x, the value of x is 50. This will give us 2000 rupees. So this is our answer. Now the 12th question. A man saves 20% of his monthly salary. If his monthly expenditure is rupees 6,000, then his monthly savings is, so the percentage on savings is given and expenditure amount is given. So we'll first assume his salary to be 100x. Out of 100x, he saves 20%, that is he saves 20x, and rest rest is expenditure or expenses. So if he saves 20%, his 80% will be his expenditure. So 80x. According to question, his monthly expenditure is rupees 6,000. So 80x will be equal to 6,000 rupees. 20 gets cancelled. 75. So x is equal to 75. Now the question they have asked is to find his monthly savings. His savings is 20x. So 20, the value of x is 75 from here, 75. So 75 into 2 is 150 and 0. So rupees 1500 is his savings. 13th question. A man spends 25% of his income on food, one third of the remaining on rent, and saves the leftover amount. If his expenditure on rent is rupees 5,000, find his monthly salary. So in this type of question, it's better to take 100x. So a man spends 25% of his income on food. So he spends 25% on food, that is equal to 25x. One third of the remaining. So how much is remaining now? Remaining, remaining. So 25% is already spent on food, so remaining will be 75x. And out of this remaining, he spends one third on rent. So one third of 75%, not one third of 100x, but one third of the remaining. This is the remaining amount, so one third of remaining on rent. So one third of remaining, 1 by 3 into 75 is 25. So 25x he spends on rent and saves the leftover amount. So what is leftover? Leftover left savings. So this leftover amount is, out of 75 he spent 25 on rent, so left is 50x. If his expenditure on rent is 5,000 rupees, so this amount is equal to 5,000 rupees according to question. So we'll make an equation. 25x is equal to 5,000 rupees. So 25 into 2 is 50 and 200. Therefore x is equal to 200. The question they have asked is find his monthly salary. So we are required to find this amount, 100x. His monthly salary is equal to 100x, and the value of 100 from and the value of x from here is 200. So his monthly salary will be 20,000 rupees. This is our answer. 14th question. A man spends 25% of his income on food. Again, we'll take the monthly salary to be 100x. So he spends on food, that is 25x. A man spends 25% of his income on food, one third of the remaining. So again here the remaining amount is 1. So the remaining is 75x. 25x they have spent on food, so remaining is 75x. One third of the remaining on travel, and out of this one third, that is 25x, they spend on travel, and 50% of the remaining, again the remaining is 50x, remains is 50x, because out of 75 they have already used 25x in travel, so the remaining is 50x. Again from this remaining they have utilized 50% of the remaining on entertainment. So 50% of 50x will be 25x, and saves the rest the amount. So he saves 25x. If his savings is 1875, then find the amount spent in travel. So his savings is equal to 1875 according to question C. Now 25x is equal to 1875. We need to find the amount spent on travel, that is this. C, his savings is 25x, his travel expenditure is 25x. So automatically the expenditure on travel will be 1875 itself. 15th question. In an examination, 20% of total number of students failed in Hindi. So this question is basically talking about the examination in which 20% failed in history. So we'll write it down. 20% failed in history. 15% of the total number of students failed in Hindi. So 15% failed in Hindi, and 5% of total number of students failed in both the subject. So 5% failed in both history and Hindi. So both the subjects. Find the percentage of students who passed in both the subject. So in this type of questions, we will draw a Venn diagram. This will be for history. In history, the total number of students that are failed in the examination is 20%. So this comprise of the 20%, and this diagram will be for Hindi. In Hindi, 15% students have failed. So Hindi comprises of all this circle. So 5% 5% students failed in both history and Hindi. So this will represent the 5%. This area here will represent this 5%. So rest of this part will be 20 minus 5, that is 15, and this part will be 15 minus 5, this, that is 10%. So the total number of students that are failed will be total failed students. 15 plus 5 plus 10. 15 plus 5 plus 10, that is equal to 30% student have failed. So total pass will be total pass percentage. Percentage will be, we will take the total percentage. We will always take the total percentage as 100. 100 minus 30, that is 70%. So 70% student have passed in both the subjects. 16th question. The price of an article is first increased by 20% and afterwards it is decreased by 25%. Find the net change in the final price. So in this type of question, when there is increase and decrease, we will take a formula: plus minus A plus minus B. So this is the first increase or decrease, this is second increase or decrease, plus minus A into plus minus B divided by 100. So this is the net change formula. So first there is an increase of 20%, so plus 20. Second, there is a decrease of 25%, so minus 25, plus A, that is increase, into minus 25, that is decrease, divided by 100. So this goes 4 times, this goes 5 times. We'll get minus 5 from this, and again minus 5 because we have minus here, so minus 5. So minus 10% is our final answer. So minus 10% decrease is the final price. 17th question, and this will be the last question for this video. In an election contested by two candidates, one candidate got 30% of the total votes and still lost by 500 votes. Find the total number of votes polled. So we'll take the total number of votes polled as 100, and one candidate got 30, so other candidate will get 70. So the difference between these two is 40. So this candidate has lost by 40x vote. So according to question, they have given the amount of vote. This candidate has lost by 500 votes. So 40x will be equal to 500. So x will be equal to 25 upon 2. The question they have asked is find the total number of votes. To find the total number of votes, that is equal to 100x. Now we'll put the value of x here, 25 upon 2. This will go by 50, and 0 to 1250 vote is the total number of votes polled.